It's David from the Redneck Garage. Well, I'm out working on the van, and today I thought we'd talk about power. I've got a lot of stuff in the back of the van that I have to have power for, 110 power, key machines, computer, chargers, stuff like that, even drills once in a while. Need a 110 power supply. So I thought we'd talk about what I did on the setup and the nightmare, yeah, that's right, of one certain company that I've been dealing with that I think you should steer clear of. Here's where I set up the power for my inverter. This is a Moroso battery disconnect, and I just bought a 12 volt LED indicator right there, and the inverter is on, and that helps me to know when I get out of the truck that, oh crap, I left the inverter on. So that's worked really well. Now the problem I had mounting it there is that that's just plastic. There's nothing in behind it, so I had to weld in a plate to hold the switch, which was a fun experience. While I'm doing all the wiring for the rear air, I thought I'd go ahead and get my inverter. There's the inverter in the back there, and I'm running my power off of the battery. It's going to come up here to a switch. Got a fusible link there to go on the battery, and then it's going to go to the switch, and then it's going to go to the inverter, which will be a little short run. Truthfully, there wasn't much to mount the switch to. There's just a bar, so I welded this little plate in there after I cut it up to fit in there, and I'll drill a hole in it and mount the switch on the outside. Alright, there's a Gorilla welded bracket. It's on there good. Doesn't look very pretty, but it's covered up anyway, so now I get to drill the hole for the switch. On the back of the switch, I painted it with liquid electrical tape, just in case something touched it. There's a tray that goes back in here. Before you say anything, there's a circuit breaker on here, and there's also another fusible link in there, so even if something did short out, it would shut it off before any problems. Here's the power inverter that I have mounted, and it's Edecoa, whatever. Don't buy one of these, they're junk.
So here's the first one that I bought on eBay. It's a 2500 watt, and it did turn on originally a couple times. The seller finally said ship it back to me, which I did. Then I didn't hear anything, and I had to finally say send me a refund for this stupid inverter. And after eBay finally got involved, then he gave me a refund for the inverter, and I never heard anything else from him.
So stupid me, I got on Amazon and bought a 1500. This one was 208 prime, got it in a couple days, and it's just as janky as the first one, truthfully. These are both supposed to be pure sine wave, super duper awesome chargers. It has a LED output and everything on the front, but I'll show you what it does. Alright, so here's my biggest problem with that inverter. Here's my laptop, and I use it a lot for like codes and Locksmith stuff and all kinds of stuff like that, and you can see that it works great. But when I plug in the adapter, right, it does have power, it is charging. You can see down there it's got a charging light coming on the battery. Look at my mouse. The mouse gets crazy stupid, right? Now, at first I thought there was an issue with my laptop, but when I unplug the stinking inverter, it also works great again. So there's something funky in that inverter. Everything's grounded, everything's to their specs. But let me tell you, this inverter is making my electronics act stupid, and it's supposed to be pure sine wave, paid extra. What's up with that? I also have a tablet on my computerized key machine, and this thing acts stupid too when it's turned on and it's being charged, because the power supply for this is 110 off of the same type laptop charger, so you can't run them without power. Alright, so before I say that inverter is the problem, it's a piece of junk, I'm going to do a little control experiment by using another inverter. I want to make sure that the same wiring, same everything else, if I hook a different inverter up, it doesn't mess up my electronics. Now, I've used that laptop on inverters for years and never had a problem until I hooked up this green machine junk inverter. When I bought the solar panel, there was a video on that, putting that in, I also bought this 1000 watt inverter thinking I'm going to set up something for the house. So I had it sitting around. I'm going to install this inverter onto the same wiring and see if it makes my electronics go crazy. And if it doesn't, then we know that it's Edecoa, whatever it is, inverter, and not my wiring. Alright, this is a Sunforce. It is a pure sine wave, supposedly, right? I think there's probably only one factory in China that makes inverters, and they just put different names on all of them. But it is looking a little different, so we're going to hook it up and plug it in and see if indeed the problem is with that. Alright, so I got this thing plugged in anyway. We'll see if it even comes on. Look at that. So indeed we do have power. You can see that it's charging the battery now. Does the mouse work? Oh my gosh! The mouse works perfect! Alright, so there's our controlled experiment on inverters. And what the heck? The mouse works like a champ. No problems whatsoever. So, is there an issue with the green junk box? I think there is. And my key machine, which the touchscreen wasn't working correctly, seems to be working just fine now, which is insane. Before I was having to hit the buttons 3 or 4 times and move around, and finally it would go. Works like a champ. So what did we learn today, boys and girls? Well, the Edecoa or whatever that power inverter is junk. Even though it says it's a pure sine wave, it is not. It's something else. It's putting out a wave of weirdness that causes all my electronics to go crazy. So buying a pure sine wave inverter that doesn't work doesn't help you. And the inexpensive one that I bought on Amazon 3 or 4 years ago works like a champ. So I'm probably going to try to find a different brand. I haven't landed on any of those yet. I'll use the 1,000-watt one and send this other one back to Amazon. That is a good thing about Amazon, though. If you have a problem with it within 30 days, you can send this stupid thing back. And it was around 200, 230 bucks, something like that. So it's not worth keeping if it doesn't work. So don't buy one of those. The green inverters, stay away from. I'm going to do a little locksmith work now that I can get my key machines and my computer to work. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.